if I get any more scenes like this, I'm gonna die, man. Like, I'm gonna die of a heart attack. Because, like, the cuteness overload here is just so precious. I cannot get enough of it. Like, this episode of 100 Girlfriends, it's everything I want from an anime. It's everything I want from the show. It is just legitimately, unapologetically quality romance. Like, it is just such a good rom-com. And I missed this show, man. Like, just straight up missing this show for months since basically the first season ended. And I'm glad to see, you know, season 2 starting off basically straight up with a, fourth wall break. We had full-blown fourth wall breaking, and the characters discussing that it's been a long time since season 1, that they might become, like, you know, less excited, or Rentaro might not be as excited about them anymore since it's been so long. Legitimately love this. It is a fantastic first episode. Now, before we go any further, if I sound a little bit different, like my voice sounds a little bit off, I'm sick. Been fighting the flu for the past few days, and today, man, it has really messed me up. There's a reason why this video is probably going to be up a little bit later than normal, because, man, I am running absolutely slow today. But regardless of me being sick, it is not going to stop me from talking about true peak anime, aka 100 Girlfriends Who Really, Really Love You. So, let's get right into this. This episode is, honestly, it's cute, beautiful. You could split it into 2 different parts. You have the first half of the episode kind of reintroducing the wackiness of the series, the fourth wall breaking, all the different girlfriends that Rentaro has acquired to this very point. And then you have the second half of the episode introducing a new girl that is going to be joining Rentaro's harem. And I love her personality. I love how different she is already from the other cast members, because she has this very rudish, blunt nature because she gets hangry. She's very hungry, and so she gets hangry because she doesn't have food, and she starts to vent in certain ways. I love it. I really love her aesthetic, by the way. There's something about the way her, like, little hoodie is here, or, like, the, you know, the actually putting over her head. Forget the term. My mind is, not working right now because of me being sick, but the color palette here with, like, the little lime green to the purple and all that with her eye color and stuff, it's such a good design, and I think this is a good thing to talk about since I'm discussing the design of the character. The character designs of 100 Girlfriends is honestly so impressive to me, and I think that is probably the strongest thing about the series, obviously if we're disregarding the story and art, but, well, I guess character design is the art, but if we're disregarding the story and stuff and how good it is, you know, the character design is single-handedly one of the most important aspects of 100 Girlfriends, and I believe I briefly mentioned this a long time ago when I started reviewing the anime, like last year. I talked about how the character designs are going to be very hard to overcome, because let's get right into the reason why that is. So basically, we have the entire cast of characters, and Rentaro is supposed to get 100 girlfriends. Now, that is an insane feat alone, because obviously you gotta imagine 100 different characters, that means 100 different character designs, because eventually, you know, an artist is going to probably run into a wall to some degree, because they're going to have to somewhat overcome maybe the limitations of maybe their art style and try to design characters to be unique from one another instead of them looking like they have the same design over and over on copy and paste. So with that being said, there's a lot of issues that the author will easily run into because of just how many characters that the author has to also draw as well. And that's not even getting into the personality traits, the voice acting, and all that other stuff that will come down the road eventually. But in general, I think that looking at the new girl and how she's introduced, and then looking at all the other designs of the characters that's already established, and seeing it once again with this episode, it really showcases the strengths of 100 Girlfriends and why just so many people love the show. And I think that, you know, just looking at this series, there's a lot of people that will look at 100 Girlfriends if they never watched it, and there's a few things that they're going to think about. They're going to easily think about the fan service. They're going to be like, this just looks like a fan service show, and a trashy fan service show at that. That's what a lot of people are going to think. And they're going to write it off. Either they're going to start it because of that, or they're going to write it off. And then you're going to have those that are going to look at it and be like, wait, this man gets with every girl and all that? People are going to be like, that's not possible. That doesn't make any sense. It's not logical, etc., etc. And that's going to cause people not to want to watch it as well. Those that haven't started it, or those that have not started it, and they see that they might want to watch it just to see how it is. Because typically, when you have an author trying to balance multiple characters at once, it's pretty difficult. Even Oda, you know, Oda, the author of One Piece, he even struggles at times to tell stories with hundreds of characters at once. He's very skilled at it, and he has obviously decades under his belt with experimenting and trying things with One Piece, but even he sometimes struggles with, balancing certain characters and their traits and everything because there's just so much he has to do. So, obviously, the skill that is required for 100 Girlfriends is definitely high, and I love what I've seen so far. Like, this episode is legitimately beautiful, and it reminds me of every reason to why I love this show. It felt like I was just welcoming back an old friend when I was watching this episode, which that gets into the next segment. I want to talk about the personality of this new girl and how she stands out from the other cast members, because at first she might look like a typical tsundere. Maybe you might get that like mean attitude like a tsundere, but obviously she's not. She's not a tsundere by any means. She's just a very hangry girlfriend, and I think that's legitimately funny. There is a lot of relatability to this to a degree, because I know people could get very angry if they're hungry sometimes, and everything about her sequence and all that. She has a personality that seems very vicious and mean, but she actually is a sweetheart deep down if she's able to connect with you and eat food with you and enjoy your company, and that's obviously what happens here within this episode. And she gives off this impression of like this gamer or someone that tries to be a little bit hip in the know and all that, but she's not. She just has these headphones and stuff just to be able to listen and all that and enjoy her food more. It's pretty funny. I really like this character. She has a nice design, a nice personality that doesn't clash with anyone else. It's legitimately just straight up cute and adorable. And like I said, it's a big reason to why I enjoy 100 Girlfriends so much. Now, one thing besides all of this that I do want to talk about is the fact that we do have some spoilers to the next upcoming Girlfriends in the opening song. I'll show that in a second. But there is one scene that really stands out to me, and it's this scene here where Nano basically is like, I don't like all of you, I love all of you. And you just see all of them, like, start to hug her and love on her and all that. And it's like, she really rizzed up all of Rentaro's girls with just a few words. It's pretty funny. I just love her, how cool she is, and this scene is just super sweet. By the way, can we talk about the thighs real quick on her? Like, did they get bigger? Like, they look much bigger than they did in season 1, which that is something good to talk about. The art and animation of season 2, actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's still very early on to tell, but it looks better and more polished than season 1. Now, I'm not saying season 1 didn't look good. There's a lot of incredible moments in season 1. But I do think that in terms of consistency of the movement, the art style, and all that, it seems more polished than it did. Now, obviously, this just can be me having recency bias and maybe me being sick and my head being a little bit on fire, not being able to fully comprehend maybe the differences, but it does look better to me. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. So let's get into the opening song. So the opening song of the first episode of 100 Girlfriends Season 2, it spoils a few characters. I mean, we get this like I'm trying to show her. Yeah, here it is. So she looks like a princess type character, like the rich girl character. And, the way her movements are within the opening and ending song, it implies that she is a character that, just is all about that type of stuff, like laughing like that and acting like they're better or something. She gives off that vibe. I could be wrong, but that is the overall like energy she gives in the opening song. So it'll be interesting incorporating her with the cast, because technically, she wouldn't be the only one that's potentially a rich girl, since we know we have Hahari and Hikari and all that. I'd like to see how she would mix into the group if she acts like she's a pompous, like, rich girl or something. That'd be pretty amusing. We also have another character. We get her as well, which I'm trying to show her here. She's like this shy character with plushies. It implies that she really likes cutesy things and plushies and all that with the hair and all that. She has the H-tie hairstyle. I'm going to be honest, that's literally what the hairstyle looks like to me. But I like how she's this very shyish character, and she just likes cute things. I don't think she's stepping into the realm of her other shy character, but we'll have to see when she does get animated and all that, and see how that's actually presented with the voice acting and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I really like this, man. This first episode is just straight up incredible. I can't get enough of this. Obviously, it has a lot of fan service too, in this episode. A lot of unhinged moments that, it just gets better and better, man. Like, it really does. I love this show. It's a show I've easily been looking forward to the most, honestly, for this anime season, besides, obviously, the return of, like, ReZero and, less than a month from now. I really have been looking forward to this. I'm glad to finally have it here because I need some joy, I need some laughs and stuff and comedy because I love a good romance comedy, and this show is exactly that. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if this video seems a little bit like monotone to a degree. I mean, like I said, I have a flu and my chest is feeling a little bit off in terms of, like, coughing a lot and stuff. So, yeah, please forgive me for that. I know that might not be the best experience for you guys, but trust me, love this episode. Not even a cold's going to stop me from talking about this. I love it that much. But be safe, stay healthy, and I love you guys. Chibi out.